Tyson. Helton coach will open it up with a statement, then we'll jump into questions.
Yeah, excited to get back on the grass today. First day of spring football. Got a lot of new faces, new players, new coaches. I'm excited about that. You guys will get to talk here in a minute to our new coordinators, offense coordinator Rick Bowie, and then our 2D coordinators Devon Brown and Davis Merritt. But excited to get rolling. Got a lot of new guys out there, close to 50 new players that we have signed. Most of those guys are already here. They've been working extremely hard over the winter, and now we got to take it out there on the field. So got a lot of work ahead of us, but excited to get out there. With that said, questions.
I know you've never been averse to change in the program. That's something that you seem to have embraced over the years, but this seems more so than usual. Is this the most turnover that you've had, and how are you kind of dealing with that?
Yeah, this is by far the most turnover we've had. Again, I've said it before, I enjoy this part of my job. I like putting the pieces of the puzzle together. College football has an ever-changing environment, and it's the wild, wild west right now. And, you know, like I said, 50 new players, that's a lot. You look at, we lost probably close to 70% of our production last year that's left us, right? But when good players leave, new stars arrive, right? And I think we have a lot of new stars that are here. We just got to spend time with them, get through spring football, get through summer. But I really like our football team, really like our staff. I think, you know, if we do what we're supposed to do, we'll be in a good position to make a run.
You know, Coach, this is the first time I've talked to you since you signed your extension with the program. Just how excited are you to stay here on the hill for another couple of years?
Really excited. You know, I tell everybody all the time, this is a special place. This is a place that my family loves and enjoys. I hope I get to stay here forever. And, you know, definitely this last contract was a big part of that. And there's a lot of great people here, from our president to our AD. They're fully committed to our program, continuing to grow and climb. You look at all the new facilities that have come online, the new press box probably will be done with the indoor facility late summer, early fall. It's going to be a great facility. It just shows the commitment to being excellent. And so I'm glad to be a part of that. I'm glad to continue to lead this team, and excited in the direction we're headed.
You guys, you have a week 0 game, conference game this year. Seems like things would have to accelerate a little bit, and with so many newcomers and so many new things, how important is this spring period to kind of springboard into the fall?
Yeah, this part's really big. You know, nobody in my mind wins jobs in the spring. You know, we're all working with each other. We're trying to evaluate where we're at as a team. We're trying to get better, and then we'll come out of spring and get into, you know, summer and train during the summer and do PRPs, and then hit fall camp, and that's when the jobs are won, right? You know, there's veteran players that are here that, you know, have a good chance of being the guy again, but everybody has to go earn that job. And, you know, you look at, again, the turnover we've had and all those kind of things, that there's some really good, talented players that we need to spend a lot of time with, and that's really just the main focus, is getting better as a football team, getting better as a coaching staff. And then we'll sit down at the end of spring and say, okay, where we're at, do we need to add some more pieces, you know, to where we might be in some weak in some areas. You know, all those things need to take place, but right now we're just focusing on getting better.
You know, you talked about there being some key veterans returning. How important are they in a leadership role for those 50 or so new guys coming into the program?
Big. They're huge. And a lot of those guys, those veteran guys, are still young guys too, so that's exciting. You know, the guys that we've added, a lot of they're veterans in their own right. You know, a couple one-year guys that'll just be with us for about 8 months or so. But the biggest piece for me is the character piece. You know, the passion to win and win in everything you do. You know, you hear me say all the time, just win, right? Just win. And we got guys here that want to win. And they're good character guys. They're working well together. You know, I think the culture in the locker room is fantastic. That's a really important piece for me. Now it's just about putting those pieces together. But it's good to have some consistency in that locker room. And you know, those guys show the new guys, this is how we do it here, and this is our culture. And the rest is up to me and the coaches to show them everything else.
I think the portal's going to open back up after the spring session. I mean, how much flexibility do you still have with this roster to add, and how much do you anticipate losing some guys again? I guess I'm asking, how stable is the roster?
Well, I think, really for us, it's to be expected that in any program, you're going to lose some guys after spring, and you're going to add some pieces after spring. It's just part of college football today, But for right now, everybody's working hard. Everybody wants to earn their way here. And it's a pro mentality. Everybody's trying to win jobs and trying to be the best they can be. And we'll sit down at the end of spring as a staff and say, okay, where are some areas where we can plug some guys in that can help us. And we've always done that here. I do think that's an important piece, though. I think where we are currently at with the culture of our football team, I don't foresee losing a lot of pieces after the spring. It's a natural thing that's going to happen. You're always going to have a couple guys here or there. And what's really hard in college football today more than anything, it's not necessarily your starters, it's your 2 deep and your 3 deep guys that want to play. And I don't blame them. You compete as hard as you can during spring. You kind of maybe see the writing on the wall a little bit. You might have an opportunity at another school where you can play and get on the field. And so, it's just a part of the process now. But I don't see a ton of transition happening in the spring, but I do think there will be pieces added after spring.
Before we talk to these new coordinators, can you kind of just give your touch on each of these guys getting brought up to their positions this year?
Yeah, really excited about our offense coordinator, Rick Bowie. Came to us from Abilene Christian, has had a ton of success as a coordinator, a guy that was trained extremely well by some of the best in the business. I love that there's consistency there from what we do and what he does. The offense is, pretty much the same. Some things might change a little bit here and there, but Rick's really good at playing the best 11. That was the first thing he told me as coach. Whoever the best 11 are, that's who we're playing, and that's the type of offense we'll be. But he's a guy that loves to throw it all over the park. He has exciting offenses. He has his quarterback here with him, and Maverick MacGyver, which we're excited about. Maverick is a good, productive player that I'm excited to get an opportunity to watch him this spring play. You talked about veteran guys. He's a veteran guy that from day one has walked in the locker room and really captured the locker room, captured those offensive players, and there's consistency there for Rick on that. So it's really been a fast transition for us just because you got a talented offense coordinator who also has his quarterback here, and we just got to bring the other guys along. On the defensive side, Devon Brown and Davis Merritt, have been with me. 2 really talented coaches that, have earned the right to be in this position. I've always felt like you promote within if you can do that, and those guys certainly are deserving of that. Devon's a great players coach. He's young, he's energetic. He's a great mind in the back end with the secondary. He was a guy that, when Tyson Summers went to Colorado State, he was one of the first guys that popped into my mind, And Davis Merritt will handle the front, and he's done a great job with our linebackers. And, his philosophy of defenses and how he wants to do things is very similar to Coach Summers. And but both those guys will put their own stamp on things. And they work extremely well together. You don't see a lot of times where you have co-coordinators, with the defensive side. But I trust these guys. They do great. They do a great job. So I'm excited to watch those guys work.
I don't think you've had a chance to kind of reflect on last season. Just wanted to get your thoughts on how that all went down. Obviously, making the conference championship game and the finish.
Yeah. Just a season in review, very proud of the football team. They accomplished a lot last year. I think back to the Toledo win at home, that was a big win for us, The last game at regular season versus Jacksonville State to get to the championship, that was a big win for us. But at the end of the day, it's not just about playing for championships, about winning championships, and that's the number one goal, is to win a championship. And so we certainly came away disappointed after the championship game, and played a really good team in James Madison, and had played a good four-quarter game and came up short. I think at the end of the day, I'm proud of what they did. You talk about your full body of work at the end of the season. I'm proud of our full body of work. Disappointed that we didn't accomplish all our goals that we set out to accomplish. But now it's a new season, a new group. Like I said, a lot of new faces. The one thing that's always been there, the passion to win. This group here is just as hungry as last year's group to get back to that championship game and go win it. All right, guys, thank you. Appreciate it.